the 6th and final Smoke on the Water solo lesson. I'm at the 8th fret, and I'm basing this kind of out of the C minor pentatonic scale. All right, and I'm starting with pointer finger on fret 8 of the 2nd string, and I'm picking it with an upstroke, and then I'm quickly putting down my 3rd finger on the 11th fret. Instead of the pinky, I'm using the 3rd finger, so I have more room to move around. So upstroke on the 8, down on the 11 with the 3rd finger, up, down. That's how this part starts. Next part, you're going to bend the 10th fret, but because I'd normally bend it with my 3rd finger with the help of these two, but because my 3rd finger is being used on the 11th fret, I'm just going to use my middle finger. We did this earlier in one of the other parts of the solo. I'm going to bend 10 with just the middle finger, about a half step or 1 fret's worth. And I'm picking that with an upstroke. Now I'm picking that with a downstroke, sorry. I'm going up, down, and then down on the bend, and then 8 and 8 with an up and a down. Down, up, down. Up, down, down, up, down. If you remember, this same lick started the last section of the solo. We were just using the fingering with the 3rd finger down, but here we're using the middle finger. But it's the same idea. The reason that's important is because as you learn to improvise lead guitar and you get better at it, you're going to use a lot of the licks you learn in these classic solos. That's why these solos are so important to do. So up, down, down, up, down, and then 11 with an upstroke. Down, up, and then 8 again with a downstroke, and 8 on the 1st string with an upstroke again. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of it. Up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Here it is again. Up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then after that, do another 11, 8, 8. And those last 3, 11, 8, 8 will be down, up, down. So I'm backing up again to the beginning of it. Up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the 11, 8, 8 happens twice in a row, but the first time it's up, down, up. Second time it's down, up, down. Here it is again. Up, down. And then after you do that 8 with a downstroke, you continue with back to 11 again with an upstroke. But this time, don't go to the 8 on the 2nd string. Go right back to the 8 on the 1st string with a downstroke. And then 10, I would use the middle finger on that 10. So back to the beginning of it. I'm going to give you the fret numbers again right now. 8, 11, 10, 8, 8, 11, 8, 8, 11, 8, 8, 11, 8, 10. All right, my picking was off there a little bit. Let me do that again. So the last 2 notes, the 8 and the 10, slow down a little bit and you pick them down, up. There it is again, and this is a little trickier to get this timing down on this phrase. I'm going to go on to 11 with the 3rd finger. I'm going to pick that down. Then I'm going to move it up to 13 and pick it up. And then I'm going to pick 13 again with a downstroke, and I'm going to bend it up a whole step and shake it. So going back to the beginning of it once again. One more time. next part, I'm going to stay on that 13. I'm going to bend it several times. I'm going to start with an upstroke, bend it up a whole step again. Then I'm going to bring it back without sounding it and pick it with an upstroke straight, meaning not bent. And then I'm going to bend it again without picking it. Pick it with a downstroke while it's bent. Bring it back again silently and pick it with an upstroke again. So I know that's a lot, but the first time I get to that 13, I do a long bend. Then I bend it again with an upstroke. Bring it down straight, up. Push it up again without playing it, down. Bring it back again without sounding it, up. Let me do it in tempo or steady so you can hear it in context. Here it is again, long bend. And then one more time you're going to bend it up without sounding it. Pick it and shake it. There it is again from the beginning of that 13 bend. One more time. Going on, bring it back down again without sounding it. Pick it up. Push it up again without sounding it. Pick it down. Bring it down again without sounding it. Up. And then 10 with the pointer finger on the first string, down. 13 on the second string with the third finger, up. And now you're going to pick 13 again on the second string and bend it with 2 fingers since you have a finger to help. Bend it up a whole step and shake it. That's a lot going on with mostly the 13th fret. Let me backtrack to the beginning of that phrase. Here it is again, the long bend. Okay, I'm going to go on. Next part, I'm back down to the G minor pentatonic, back at the 3rd fret. I'm going to bend that same note I started solo 5 with. 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Pointer finger and middle finger on the same string to help bend it. Bend it up about a whole step. And while it's bent, you have to drop your pinky down on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And I'm picking it down and then up on that 2nd string. Notice my bent note is still there. I didn't bring it back. Because after you pick the 2nd string with an upstroke, you're going to pick the 3rd string again with that note still bent and bring it down. Then you're going to pick the 3rd fret on that 3rd string with an upstroke and pull it a little bit. Bend it, but pull it towards the floor. Very typical in a bluesy style. So, sorry. And then after I pull that a little bit with an upstroke, I go back to the 5 with a downstroke. Pick the 3 again and pull it a little bit more this time, and that's an upstroke. And then I end that portion of the phrase on the G, which is the 5th fret of the 4th string. So here's that phrase. Here it is again. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then going on, I'm going to put my 3rd finger down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. If you're looking at tab, it probably says slide into 8, but it may not say 6. Generally, you're going to slide from about 2 frets below. So I want to get to 8, so I'm going to slide my 3rd finger from 6 up to 8 on that 2nd string, and I'm picking that down. It's not a long note, so you really don't have time for the vibrato I just did. And then I'm going to the 1st string with that same 3rd finger, so I'm rolling it. And I'm picking that up. So down, up, going on, 6th fret on the 1st string with the pointer finger, and that's down, back to 8 on that 1st string with an up. So those 4 notes. Slide from 6 to 8 with a downstroke. Roll 3rd finger to 8 on the 1st string, pick it with an up. Pointer finger on 6 on the 1st string, down. 3rd finger back on 8 with an up. And then moving on, you're going to pick the 8 again, and this time you're going to pick it with a down and do a very slow full step or whole note bend. And now when he does all this, you can use your ears and imitate it. If you wanted exactly, it would be this. After I do my bend, slow bend, you're going to go, while it's bent, up, down, up, down, up. All right, all on that same bent note. Up, down, up. And then you're going to bring it back a little bit to a 3/4 bend and go down, down, and bring it back a little bit more to a half bend. And you're going to go up, down, bring it back a little bit more to a 1/4 bend. And I'm going to do that down. And then straight on the 8th fret with you can do an up there. And then your final note is 6th fret on the 2nd string. The pointer finger makes the most sense, but the bend is a little awkward. You're going to play that, and you're going to bend it up a whole step with that pointer finger and try to shake it. There's a lot to this ending solo. Let me do it from that slide. The end of the solo. It slipped off there a little bit. So let me go back to this part. And that's the end of the solo. Good luck.